Hey, so there's a video on this channel, which I will find and link, where I read a Reddit post from somebody who I talked to a few times. But I love this post. It's called Why Some Desires May Suck. And I wanted to talk about sort of a paradox between your desires sucking and trying to change that, and why I think a lot of the time you just have to follow a desire in order to figure that out. So I'm not sure that it's something that can really, I think most people probably can't be talked out of it. I think most people learn through the fulfillment of a desire and seeing what kind of effect getting it has on them. But I think that some people actually are very adept at listening to reason and examining themselves, and can actually avoid having to go through the process of manifesting something and it not providing what they thought it was going to. Because I mean, if you can just avoid that whole process, then you're already ahead. You know, you can work on the next thing, or I don't know. I don't like to waste my time spinning my wheels. If I can just figure something out myself, without having to sort of learn the hard way going through experience. But anyway, the gist of that post and the gist of this video is your desires spring from the sum total of you. And if you change a lot of your beliefs, you will find that you no longer desire things that you used to want, and that you want new things. You know, on this journey, it's never ending until I think you get to the point where the things that you want are no longer material, physical world things and become more about your experience, and I assume eventually about just kind of elevating out of this entire experience altogether. But depending on what you believe about things, you know, I think people are rational to some degree when it comes to what they want. You know, you think that something that you get is going to produce an outer result. So you look at your life and you say, I'm not happy with X. If I get Y, then it will produce outcome Z, to simplify it. So you think you're lonely, and you think that you will manifest somebody to have a relationship with, and then you will not be lonely anymore, for example. Or you think that your problems in life stem from not having enough money, and so you manifest money, and then you don't have those problems anymore. And you know, to a certain degree, a lot of that is valid. And to a certain degree, that's why I think that you should just kind of go after what the things you want. Especially, and I'm just speaking from my own personal experience as always, manifesting money and freedom in that way, for me, I just don't know how I would have gotten to the point where I was free to think about anything else if I was bogged down with money worries. So getting to a certain point for me with having the means to provide for myself materially, to kind of free me from having to, you know, worry, I don't know, to free me from having to make any of my decisions motivated from a survival standpoint, that to me was important. And I don't know that I could have gotten to where I am now without removing that whole thing from my mentality. But, you know, I've never really thought that money was going to cure any problems for me. I think I see money for what it actually does for you. I guess what I'm saying is I think that my mentality about money has always been pretty good. Whereas I used to believe that finding the right person would outwardly would like legitimately make my life much, much better. Like I would be much happier with the right person in my life. You know, like I would no longer have the kind of bad days I was having, or, you know, just like general stuff like that. It was kind of an illusion that a person was going to come into my life and change the way my day-to-day life was to that degree. So just sort of on like the money will solve my problems level, the person will solve my problems was also kind of not quite there. But I think and most people, I just think it's part of the human condition. I kind of suffered from thinking that something in the material world was going to provide the answer to sort of this burning underlying feeling that I believe everybody here feels, which is, what is this? Like, what is this all for? You on some level know that you come into this world alone and that you leave alone, and we don't know what happens after that. And that is just like conveniently forgotten by most people for the majority of every day, if not the whole day. But it's there always. And I think that comes out in elusive desires, things that you want that you can't seem to get. And when you go straight to the source of the desire like that and start putting your focus there on the desire, what's causing me to want this thing, that I think can resolve. And then your desire for that thing completely changes, maybe even goes away entirely, and you might even realize that what you were interpreting as desire was actually just a sense of obligation or need. And then when it's gone, you realize, I don't really want that thing after all. And I will maintain my hill to die on is not wanting something anymore is just as good, if not better, than getting it. Because if you want something and you get it, then there's a threat of loss. And I think really the end game for this whole spiritual journey is completely letting go of everything like that. Complete faith, complete trust, a complete immersion in the moment. And probably some things I don't really understand beyond that. But the whole reason I wanted to make this video basically was to say one thing. You can go so far with what I just said, examining where is this coming from? Why do I want this? And you can think your way out of a lot of things that just kind of are in your mental vicinity, things you think you want. You can stop and do a little examination and figure out a lot of that stuff and let a lot of it go. That's like pro tip. If you can do that, do it, because it will free you rapidly. But the thing I wanted to say is, I think that there's nothing wrong with continuing to go after desires that are in the material world. If for no other reason than attaining everything you want in the physical world will reveal to you the limitations of what things can provide you. And the mistake comes in getting something in the physical world that you thought you wanted really badly, and it not providing you with what you thought it was going to, and then thinking you just need to get a little more of that thing. That's where people just waste, I think, lives sometimes. This is the biggest illustration I have for myself with this is my body, which I have been on an interesting journey with this since I started this channel and intended to be free from this thing. I basically got to my ideal body, and it just still wasn't good enough. I thought that when I achieved the best I could be, or when I achieved a certain level, when I got to a certain weight and size, I thought, oh, that will just completely relieve me of all of this. And it didn't. It didn't. I got, I'm 5'3", I got down to 115, and then I was like, man, I need to go lipo out my armpit area. It's too fat. I don't like the way I look in a tank top. And I don't want to lose a bunch more weight. Just I was just nitpicking at myself. I was like, this still isn't good enough. I'm I'm gonna find a partner and they're not gonna find me attractive because my body's not perfect. You know, it turned out, it was revealed to me that, you know, what I thought about this body thing, what I thought that was going to give me, this material 3D reality thing, which is your body. I mean, your body is as 3D as it gets. You know, that was a wake-up call that I was still buying into this illusion that anything in 3D was going to make me feel better, you know, about an issue that is ongoing to this day, but you know, it's like an onion that you have to peel back layers of for some of these deep things that rule your life. And you know, it's just been one lesson after another for the last couple years about that. And I don't, you know, until I got there and saw that it wasn't going to be what I thought it was going to be, you know, how would I have known that the next step was to figure out what the mental thing was? If you're convinced that your lack of peace mentally is coming from a 3D situation, it's not, first of all. But if you can't really believe that, you know, get the thing and then go from there. And, you know, getting some money and getting my body to a point that was good, you know, those did provide a lot, actually. It's not like there was no value in that. It's just, you know, to have gotten to that point and then have continued to try to make things better and better, you know, that's the mistake I think people make. You know, get the thing you want, and then if you're not happy when you get there, figure out why you're not happy. Don't continue to believe that it's coming from the 3D. That's my message about that. Don't be deterred from getting the thing in 3D if you really still think that you're going to get that thing and it's going to do something for you. Get it and see if it does. You know, maybe you don't have a deep issue with money, and getting some money will actually really help you. That's where I was coming from. I didn't have any issues with money, so it's been nothing but a good thing for me. And once I got to a certain point with it, I lost the desire. Like, I have a really hard time at this point trying to get way wealthier than I am. I don't really want anything that's outside of my current reach. So, you know, to manifest like a net worth of $10 million from where I'm at right now, it's just like, I don't know, I don't have that much of a motivation to do it. And it's a lot harder to care about it, since I know it's not going to do for me what, you know, the things that I need to have done. Those are things I have to do for myself internally and to work on. So anyway, that's it. Have a good day.